I find it funny when we are told by these globe trolls that underlit clouds are caused by the direct light of the sun shining on the bottom of the clouds due to the curvature of Earth. So if the clouds are curving along with the curvature of Earth, this is why when the sun comes down and you can see it, it lights up the bottoms of these clouds. Well, the sun isn't visible right now, but yet these clouds are lit up. So again, I've seen all kinds of different videos, even from flat earthers trying to explain this different color of light, saying that it's gases in the air and different gases, different phases, cause this color change in the sky. Well, I don't actually believe that because I just think it's the color of light or the angle of light, reflection light. It might be a combination of the direct light being above and the reflected light coming up and meeting them and intermingling with the direct light and causing the bottoms of the clouds to light up. But in my opinion, even over land, there's enough reflective products on the ground to reflect light back in the air. Now, if you're ever out at night and you're doing a time lapse, and I go to Bayport or Pine Island, and if I catch some of the city lights, I mean, these city lights are polluting the sky all the way up to the clouds because you can see the clouds lit up from underneath from the city light. So it doesn't take a lot of light to reflect from the ground back up to the sky and cause these clouds to be lit up from underneath, but it's not direct light. Now, somebody may argue that, oh, the sunlight's shining through these thin clouds and causing it to turn color. Well, if that's the case, then look at below at the horizon. Why is it all red? And the sun hasn't even reached the horizon yet. And I see this in a lot of my sun departure videos. I mean, I can go through them and go through them. You can go back and watch my videos of these sunsets, and you'll see the same thing. The sky's all lit up red well before the sun even gets to the horizon. So again, it's not direct sunlight that's causing this. Now watch it. Watch how this um, where you get the direct light meeting the reflection light, and all of a sudden now you kind of cannot see the clouds. Well, that's not due to um, the light shining through. It's just due to I'm getting more light from the sun, so the light on the bottom of these clouds are canceled out. But yet you can see still way out on the horizon, everything is red, and the clouds are all lit up. Does that mean the sun's reflecting or um, direct light shining on these clouds from underneath? No, no. And again, I've seen many explanations of the clouds, the sky being red, and I really do believe that it is the last spectrum of light that we see. But there's something else going on there too. And like I say, I think it is the reflected light coming off the water and even off of land to have the sky or the clouds appear to be lit up from underneath from the direct light from the sun, but it's not. It's actually reflected light. Um, Again, the last spectrum of light we would see would be the red light, like in a rainbow. So, there's a lot of controversy about this, and I put out a video before, and the guy's like, "Oh, oh, there's something else going on here other than that." Yeah, there is, and you know, uh, this one particular guy, I thought I was getting along good with him. He was a Glober, but he said, "Oh man, you're the type of guy I could sit down and have a cookout with, and we could have a beer and a hamburger together." But then throughout our conversations that we were having, eventually he started giving me these subtle insults, and after a while, I was like, "Man, I can't continue to talk with this guy if he's going to insult me and try to act like he's not insulting me, which he obviously was. And then when I called him out on it, he let his true colors out and he really started insulting the crap out of me, just blatantly. So, again, I hate to delete people or block people from my channel. And some people say, oh, you shouldn't do that because nobody wants to be. I'm not canceling the person. I just don't want to hear his voice on my channel, especially using vulgar language, insulting language, because if we did this on their channel, they would report us, and then we would maybe even have our channels deleted because of these people. Um, but what gets me is that you can see this in a lot of videos, but nobody ever calls it out and says, "Look, and why is everything else red below it, below the sun, before the sun even gets to the horizon?" And like I said, if you're out there and you're watching the sun depart our view, when you look behind us, we should almost see an instant shadow rising up high, real quick as soon as the sun hits the horizon. Because again, if shadows can cast, or clouds can cast shadows, shadows casting clouds, that would be a good one. But if clouds can cast shadows, then I mean, they're a thin layer of agua, H2O in the sky, evaporated water. If they can cast a shadow, well, surely the the Earth, being that it's a solid object, would have to cast this shadow. So actually, where I'm standing on the shore, as soon as that sun disappears, I should be casted in a shadow. I mean, it should go right over my head, and I should obviously be able to see the shadow. But we never see that shadow. But what we do see in the eastern horizon is we do see darkness, right? And that's because the sun's getting farther and farther away, and light does have its limits. And I love this sunset, or I love to call it a sun departure, because that's what it's doing. It's departing our visual view. Because again, if you have two parallel lines, they will appear to converge, and you cannot see past that convergence. It'd be like looking into a long tunnel with light at the end. You wouldn't see that light because the tunnel would be too long to see it. But if you was to take your zoom camera and zoom it all the way in, you might be able to see that light depending on how long that tunnel is. But if you were able to see that tunnel or that light at the end of the tunnel, make your tunnel another 10 miles long, and you wouldn't be able to see it because your camera only has a limit to it also. Now everybody says, well, how can it have a limit? Because we see these stars and they're billions of light years away. Are they? Do we have any proof that these stars are billions of light years away, or 100 million light years away, or really a light year away? I mean, to me, they're telling me that, if a star goes out, we'll still see that light for a million years before we actually see that star go out. Now, come on, people. Can you really believe this? Now, I always say that the sun gets distorted, gets deformed, and then it appears to vanish. Um, does it vanish into or below Earth, or is it just vanishing into the convergence? Now, see, the parallel lines will never converge, but they will appear to converge, just like the sun appears to go below a curve, but it's not. It's actually going farther and farther away, and the convergence point is at the horizon. That is where your convergence is. So again, is it really, really going below a curve? I don't think so, folks. I really think that this top part is where the sun is just melting into the convergence. And now we still see the light reflection off the water because it's still above the water. but we just cannot see it. We're seeing the last of that light stretching out across the water. Now, um, I was going to make this a short video, but I thought it was so awesome. I wanted to go ahead and let it finish out playing. Um, so what I'll do is I'll add a little music to this and speed it up a little bit and show you the rest of it. But first, let's zoom back out and give you a little show. Oh, let's zoom in a little bit. See if we can find a boat out there. I'm not sure if because this was done, oh, what was it? November 23rd, 2022. And I've been wanting to share more of my videos, but I just find sometimes it's not convenient for me. I just don't have a lot of time to put videos together lately. Uh, I'm running my business by myself. I'm also trying to catch up on a lot of yard work that I've neglected over the years due to getting into flat earth. Um, and I tell you, it's a lot of time consumption. Um, just to go out and to make these videos, and then you're going to come home, and then you're going to sit down, and then you're going to try to put it together and make a nice video out of it. But I really do think that people should look at this and say, well, um, you know, look at your visual, what you're seeing with your eyes, and not what you're hearing with your ears, because these people are great at deceiving you. All right, I'll let you finish watching this.